Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, everybody, welcome. Welcome everybody that's here and everybody that'll be watching the recording. Um, Today we are hosting on this Ask Me Anything. We're hosting our learning and development team. So if you guys can see them up there, looking nice and pretty, Alexis and Jessica, there are guests today. So since we're already a little after 4, we can go ahead and jump right in with Jess and Alexis. You guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves and your position with Shichunguko, what you guys do, and we'll start off with that. So go ahead and take.
Awesome. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Larson. I am the Learning and Development Director here at Sicangu Co. I've worked at Sicangu Co for a little over 7 years, and I've had a few different roles since coming on board in the summer of 2017. Came in marketing and then transitioned to a training coordinator role in 2019. And then in 2021, and with my previous supervisor, developed the learning and development department. And so we're just over 3 years old and really excited to be here.
All right, then you can go ahead and kick it off then, Alexis, with what you do, your position, how long you've been with Shichunguko.
We literally just got an all company email about new internet being installed at the office tomorrow, so that hopefully we can avoid these issues in the future. But I tried to turn their camera off, so we'll see if they're able to join back in, and might have to go off video to have a more stable connection.
All right, that is fine. Oh yeah, I just seen that email as well. Our poor main building. Okay, and I can message Jess to rejoin as well.
Hi, sorry, I'm not too sure if that was on our end, if we got dropped from the call. Oh,
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and just talk. I think having your camera on might, yeah, I know our Wi-Fi over at the office isn't the best, but we can definitely hear you guys. So if you want to take your turn, Alexis, to introduce yourself, how long you've been with Shichunguko and what you do.
okay. My name is Alexis Whitehat, and I'm the Youth Internship Coordinator in the Learning and Development Department. I joined Sichonguko last year in November, through the marketing department. I was the community media lead, and I was in marketing for about a month and a half before I saw this position open. And as soon as I saw it open, I let my supervisor know that I was interested in it. I've worked with youth, specifically Rosebud, or Rosebud Sioux Tribe youth for the past couple of years now. And I was really just trying to find a way into the company, and I've had marketing experience, so that's how I joined. And then I did my interview and was hired into my position that I am now back in January, towards the end of January, and just celebrated what, my 8 months last week. I think it's coming up. I think but I've been in the learning and development department for 8 months, and I run the 7 Gen summer youth internship, and am now taking lead on our Sichonguko internship for SGU students. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for you, Jess. What brought you to this work with the learning and development program with what you do now?
A great question. So there's kind of two answers. There's a professional journey and then a personal journey. So I'd love to share both with y'all. On the personal side, both of my parents worked in education. My dad worked for a college out. I'm originally from Southern California, so he worked out of college out there. My mom worked for like Disney educational productions, and so education was something that was really like important in my household, something that my parents really kind of like instilled in me. Um, but when I got to my teenage years, there was some things that happened in my lives that were really challenging. And I walked kind of a not so great road for a while through my teens in my early 20s without the guidance that I really needed to like get on a better road, to be able to see like potential in myself, to be able to see kind of what was possible. And the reason why I love the work that I do so much is because we get to kind of create those experiences and environments for young people to like increase the idea of what's possible and to lead the best versions of their lives. On the personal side, like I shared at the top, 3 years ago, just about 3 years ago, I was working in a few different projects. I was training coordinator. I was helping out with some AmeriCorps Vista things. I was helping with our summer internship. There's lots of different things that I was doing and trying to figure out where the connectors were. Like, how was all of those different things related? Should they be related? And what might we like to see going forward? And so that's how the Learning and Development Department came to be. And just so excited to see how much it's grown and just how we will continue to grow it.
Nice. Thank you, Jess. I'd love to hear it. How about you, Alexis? I know you talked a little bit about your journey, and I'm sure your journey goes way back before Shichanguko, working with youth and, really being kind of like in a mentor role. But what brought you specifically to that role with Shichanguko? Like, why did you tell your marketing director, like, yep, this is what I want to do. I want to take that position.
So for me, it really has been a personal journey. So like Jessica, my family is all about education, especially pursuing the highest education that we can. It goes back all the way back to my great grandfather. And my grandfather was a professor here at SGU. A lot of my family members worked at SGU and have just done work in education. So education was a big, um, was something that was really pushed onto us growing up and even now. And so actually coming onto learning and development, I didn't realize how much education would play a role into my position and the work I do. And it's actually really fulfilling because as a young kid, I always wanted to be a teacher and I got to experience some of that this summer with our interns. But I actually never imagined myself being a youth really involved with youth. My passion was towards anthropology and archaeology, but in high school, I joined the Sicangu Youth Council and got some really amazing mentors in my life that helped guide me to where I am now. And while I was in school, I ended up taking a break and coming back home. And when I came back home is when I got reconnected with the Sichong Youth Council and Tokala Inajo. And that's where I started working as a youth outreach coordinator. And within like the first month of working as a youth outreach coordinator, it was like just this passion or fire got sparked in me of that I get to be in the role of the mentor that I received when I was young. And so for me, it was a really full circle moment of being able to provide opportunities and resources to our youth to help better their lives, their communities, their families. And so I worked with youth for a couple of years. And what really pushed me to come for this position was I felt like I could excel in my career when it comes to working with youth or more specifically creating opportunities for our youth on the reservation. And I read the job description and it really excited me. And I never thought work would be that exciting. Just because you always hear growing up, like, you work to live or you live to work, you live to work. That's like find something you like to do because you're gonna do it for the rest of your life. And so I'm really blessed to have landed, honestly, like my dream job at such a young age. Um, and it's a really fulfilling job being able to work with youth so closely and see how much they can grow with just the right amount of support or even more support. And um, you definitely have days where it gets hard and takes all of your energy, but on those days, what I found over the summer was on those days that were hard, it's almost like the youth pick up on it or they like can see it and they'll give you really good words of encouragement without knowing how much they're like making your day or your week. And so what I really love about this job and my position is that I get to be the mentor I received when I was younger. Um, and yeah, I think it's mostly that just working with the youth closely, seeing them develop in just 8 to 7 weeks, and just opening the doors for them.
Thank you, Alexis. Is there anything that has happened recently with the learning and development team you guys want to talk about that has made you guys really excited or happy? Anything you're really proud of?
Summer.
Yeah. So we recently this summer I coordinated the first year or my first year coordinating the 7 Gen Summer Youth Internship. And through that internship, we had 16 interns and 15 of them finished the internship. And through the internship, they learn a lot of different things. They learn about financial literacy, the language, the culture, skills to help with their wellness, their social emotional intelligence. And one thing that we've really wanted to start making more time for in the internship is creating a community project that the interns can work on throughout the 7 to 8 weeks. And so this past summer, we had the interns identify issues that they saw in their communities that they would like to address, whether in a short-term or long-term plan. And so the biggest thing that the interns all agreed on was our trash and littering issue here on the reservation. And um so for about the first 4 to 5 weeks, they researched and gained that compassion and empathy for why they were putting on this or why they chose that as their community project and why it was an issue they would like to address. And so throughout the process, the interns used art, they used, the regular type of research, they used all types of different mediums to create and curate this event on their own, with the support of myself and the summer assistants. But it was really designed by them. They picked the day, the time, the location, what was going to be happening, who was going to do what. And so at the end of the internship, we hosted a Protect Our Grandmother Earth Walk and Run in Rosebud. And through that, the interns went and did actual like physical outreach to where they went to grocery stores, they went to tribal programs, non-tribal programs, and handed out flyers and explained why they're putting on the event. Um, and so the result of them going out and do that direct outreach, we had 200 to 250 people show up to our walk and run to show support to our interns. And it was really beautiful and awesome to just see how they curated the whole event. They made t-shirts and tote bags with designs that they created on their own. And it was really awesome to just see how successful the interns can be with the right support and guidance. And also knowing that they did it almost all on their own. We obviously, like the adults, were there to help them, but we had no say. It was their event. And so for me, that was really exciting and powerful because our youth were able to gather over 200 people in just a day of like letting people know what was going on. So that for me is something really exciting that happened in L&D and yeah.
Do you have anything that you're proud of? It's happened recently.
Oh gosh, there's so many things. It's really hard to pick. I think
Mhm.
two things that come to mind. So in this calendar year, since January 1, We have added 3 new people to the team. Two of our other team members weren't able to make it today, but we've added 3 new team members. And I said this in our team meeting, and I'll say it again. Like, I think we really have something special. People are at the heart of what we do. You know, some people may look at our different programs, whether it's summer programs, college internships. You know, we're an AmeriCorps Vista host site. We do lots of different things. And some people may look and say, you know, you guys do like workforce development or workforce readiness. And that is true that we do that, but we do it in a more holistic and grounded way that I've seen some workforce development programs be designed. And what I mean by that is we really intentionally incorporate, you know, ways and opportunities for people to practice wellness and to practice skills, because all of these things, everything that we do is skills based. The relationships, communication, all of these things are skills that can be practiced. They can be strengthened just like a muscle. And we really try to incorporate learning experiences and just intentionality to have people become aware of that and then to practice those skills. And so I think that we have a really special team. We're looking to grow it to at least 2 more people in the next few months. So our team is growing pretty rapidly. And then something else that's exciting that just happened actually at 2 o'clock. We just finished up an introduction of social emotional intelligence workshop with our college interns. And it's a workshop that we've done for a long time. We've done it with staff, we've done it with interns, we've done it with summer staff, and every time it is different. Every time I get something different out of it, some more learning. But almost always people talk about how powerful it is to be able to sit back and really become aware of these things, to become aware of, first of all, like what social emotional intelligence is, right? Like that wasn't language that I was familiar with before coming to Sicangu and learning about that. And so that's just something that we finished up just shortly before this call, actually. And it was definitely a highlight of my day, if not my week.
Thank you both for sharing. And then after that question, I always ask kind of on the flip side, is there anything that you would ever want to change about L&D to make it better? Anything that keeps you up at night? Anything within that realm. So literally the opposite of the last question. Mhm.
No, I think one thing that I think about is when we have our different programs, whether they're summer programs, semester-long internships, other types of opportunities that we have, we always try to intentionally create a like recruitment plan. We work as a team, we work alongside marketing to try to get the word out, to get people excited, to get people to apply or come and participate. And we try to do that in as many ways that we can think of. And we try to do it, you know, in the best way that we can. And almost every single year, or ever after the recruitment's done, and we, you know, have done interviews or we reviewed applications, I will receive emails, or I'll be, you know, in community at the store, at the farmer's market, and somebody will say like, hey, I heard about that thing you're doing. I didn't hear about it in time. Or I didn't get my application in. Or I just heard about this summer program that you did and now it's, you know, like January. And when can I apply? And so I think about like, how can we reach people that we're not already reaching?
Mhm. For me, since I'm fairly new to the department, there isn't really anything that keeps me up at night or I guess I wish we could change. I think the only thing that I could think of is since we're growing pretty fast, and we bring on a total of about 30 interns every summer. Would be just like a building of our own, an office space or space where um yeah, where we can gather our interns all year round. We can have storage for our supplies. But other than that, there's really nothing I would change in L&D. I really do like the way that the whole department is set up. I appreciate that I don't have things to worry about at night, after working hours. That's something I really appreciate. And yeah.
Okay, amazing. And we got a question from somebody here on now. Dawn asked, how long is the internship? So I guess if you guys want, you can go through all year of the different internships you guys do and name how long each of them is. Maybe talk a little bit more about what each internship is. Like I know you guys treat your college students and do different things with them compared to what you do with your change makers in the summer.
Start and I'll take it. Yep. So I can speak on the our 7th Gen summer youth internship and our Sinte Gleshka internship here at Sicangu Co. So with our 7th Gen summer youth internship, it runs about 7 to 8 weeks, just depending on the summer and when school gets out. And so this last summer we had a 8 week internship. And when we say it's 8 weeks, the interns are working from 9 to 3:30 the full work week. So they work 60 hours bi-weekly, work 60 hours, 30 hours every week. And so this year we started May 30th and we ended July 25th. 25th or 26th. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But a part of the summer is you have holidays, family vacations. And so altogether, the attendance is about 80% of the time they're there. But they run about 7 to 8 weeks. And for our SGU internship, it runs from the beginning of the semester to the end, so about 10 weeks. And they work with their direct supervisors in whichever department they're interning in. And then outside of their hours with their departments, they clock in for once a week trainings with myself and the other interns. That way we can get some familiarity with each other, start to build relationships and work on other skills. And so some of the things that we're going to be working on this semester is the introduction to social emotional intelligence. We just did that today. Next week and for the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be working on the Native or Rebuilding Native Nations curriculum through the University of Arizona. And in between those sessions, they will work with our language program, Lokoye, and learn the Lakota language, more specifically on how to introduce themselves or just gaining that confidence in speaking. And then to wrap up the internship, we're gonna do a training with the Tiwahe Glukinipi program on how to how to de-escalate or deal with hard situations, and look at difficult situation and conflicts through a traditional lens. And we always start our internships with an orientation and end with a awards dinner. And so that will be something to be looking forward to for our interns in December, is we're going to be having a awards dinner, and that's where they all earn a plaque and a Sicangu pin just to commemorate and celebrate their time with us. And to talk a little bit more about 7th Gen, I kind of skipped over them. While or in the summer, our schedules kind of differ every year, just depending on the programs that we're working with, and I guess just like the flow of how we want the summer to go. And so this past summer, we started off the internship with financial literacy for our interns to learn how to budget their paychecks every couple of weeks when they earned them. And they also learned how to create even a business plan. We're hoping next summer we can actually help them set up bank accounts if they don't already have one. We had a week with our language program, Lakoye, where they learned the basics to the Lakota language, and a couple of them actually learned their introductions and introduced themselves at one of our all staff meetings for Sicangu. So that was awesome to see. And we also touched on food sovereignty. We worked with the Sicangu Health Initiative on basically helping the interns see what healthy lifestyles is, especially living on the reservation when we don't have the most healthy resources to us or foods available to us. We also worked with some of the tribal council members and had them come visit the interns, and the interns just asked like what it was like to be on council. We're hoping to strengthen that connection next summer. We also spend a lot of time working on our community projects. We spend time on professional development. And so we had a couple activities where they learned how to write a resume, they learned how to write a professional email, how to call people when it comes to like reserving the power grounds for their walk. So that was some things that they learned how to do. They made their budgets for their community project. um, we had Kansas Middleton come in and work with our interns, and they really enjoyed having time with him because he did a lot of team bonding exercises, really helped strengthen their leadership and confidence. And it was also really awesome to have a positive male role model, a positive Native male role model, because our interns this year were pretty split in half with females and males. It was a really nice balance. Um, and I'm trying to think what else. We did a lot of stuff. We did a lot of stuff, and the biggest outcomes that we got for or the interns got from the summer was confidence in themselves and their skills. They worked on their social skills, and so a lot of them feel more confident in speaking and working with people they don't typically know or know how to work with. They have more confidence when it comes to looking for jobs or colleges. And so that was one thing I guess I didn't expect for the outcomes to be for the internship, was that we were helping grow the interns' confidence, their social skills, their skills to when it comes to applying to jobs. And so that's a little bit about a 7 Gen.
Then I can hop in and share some information on our other programs. So this summer we had a second summer program, which was the Sicangu Co-Changemakers. It was a 10-week program for 18 to 30-year-olds that really focused on direct service and like service-based learning. The two main projects that interns completed were partnering with our Sicangu Health Initiative to plant gardens for homes with elders and children. And they also, for the last 3 weeks of the internship, worked alongside the National Park Service in Valentine, Nebraska. And they learned about like federal job opportunities, and they also got the opportunity to participate in some like direct service, some job shadowing, and some conservation efforts. So that was a 10-week internship, just like 7 Gen. It was 30 hours a week. So interns were working 8 to 2:30 every day for 10 weeks from middle of May till middle of July. So we ran those 2 summer programs this summer. We also, Learning and Development is also the sponsor of a AmeriCorps Vista program. So we sponsor AmeriCorps Vistas both within the Sicangu Co ecosystem and also alongside 2 local partner organizations, Lakota Youth Development and Massachusetts General Hospital, which is in partnership with IHS in Rosebud. So we have 4 current Vista members in our program, and 2 are within the ecosystem, and 2 are at our partner organizations. And we actually, one of our Vista members, Lakeisha Naidu, she's on our team. She started as an outreach coordinator in January, and so she'll be on our team until next January, so a few more months. And Vista members come in for a year of service. They come in a specialized role. They have a job description, a scope of work, and really their purpose is to like build capacity and strengthen organizations, to create processes or to create ways of doing things that will outlive their year-long Vista service. And then the third program that we have is third program that I'll speak about is our iLearn. So this one's a little bit different. This one isn't focused on interns so much as it's focused on professional development of local educators. So iLearn stands for the Immersive Learning Experiences and Rural Networking. This is a partnership with South Dakota State University, and we work alongside our partners there and staff here to put on a 5-day teacher professional development workshop for local K-12 educators that is really focused on supporting teachers to develop like land-based and culturally relevant units for their students. So those are the programs that we have, the ones that Lexi and I just shared, and we're always growing. We have several more programs that we are either actively in the process of or still in like the design phase of, but we will be launching later this year. So stay tuned.
That's crazy to think about. I feel like you guys already have so many plates full. I can't imagine you guys joining anything else. My next question is, what is something happening in the near future that you guys are like that you're excited about? And I will honestly say, if you're thinking of within the next future, like within the next year, because you guys do so many different things, by all means, answer it however you want. But if there's anything within the future, that you guys are super excited about.
There's a lot of excitement here in the department. So I'll share one thing that's getting me really excited, and it's coming up on Monday actually. So the reason why one of our other teammates wasn't able to be here today, her name is Lydia Yellowhawk. It's because she is preparing for a family night that we're gonna have here in about an hour for 7 young people and their families to have the last kind of gathering before they go to Florida on Monday morning, bright and early. They were invited as official guests of NASA to watch the Europa space mission launch down at the NASA Space Center in Eastern Florida. And they will be joined with 90 other Native young people and their chaperones from not only across North America, but I think there's going to be a cohort from New Zealand. And this came out of a partnership that we recently created with NASA, and it was something that we didn't expect. We kind of had an idea, kind of a scope of work of what we thought Lydia would be focusing on. And then we were on a call a couple months ago, and our contact at NASA said, might you like to find a group of young people to bring to Florida as official guests of NASA to watch this space mission launch? And we were like, yes, absolutely, we would. So we are getting ready for that family night tonight. They've been meeting and preparing. You can imagine all the logistics that go into that with preparing transportation and getting the tickets and the communication, all of those things. But they'll be leaving bright and early on Monday. So I am so excited for them, and I'm so excited to hear about it.
Can I share the trip?
Absolutely.
So one thing I'm really looking forward to besides the trip, for our youth going to NASA, which is so exciting. The 7 Gen team will be going to Dubai in November to attend a I Can Children's Global Youth Summit. This is our second year attending. It'll be my first year attending. But second year attending as Sicangu Co. To their conference. Last year it was in India. This year it is in Dubai. And this will be our first year being able to take our 7th Gen interns. And there they will do a presentation on the community project that they hosted this past summer. And yeah, it's super exciting. The trip or the opportunity to go came from our partnership with Design for Change. It's an international organization, and they work with, I believe, like 70 other countries. And so we are going to be going and representing the United States and more specifically the Rosebud Sioux tribe. And so we'll be taking 2 interns. One of the assistant summer interns who interned with us the 2 prior years, myself, Jessica, and a couple other people from Sicangu Co. And so we're really looking forward to that. We're getting closer and closer. And yeah, it'll be my first international trip. I believe it is one of the other intern's first national trip. And so looking, I'm just so excited. Excited to explore a new country, excited for the interns to present their community project to all the other countries and the youth, excited to see what connections will be formed, what relationships will come out of this, and what other opportunities will be maybe sparked or started while we're at this conference. So yeah.
Awesome. Those are like those are very easy things to be excited about for sure. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting those kind of answers. Like, oh my goodness, alrighty then. Y'all have fun. I'll be here. Um, but okay, well, awesome. That's really cool. I love talking anything learning and development when you guys talk about things like that. I mean, my internships weren't like the best. So I'm like, I always say that. I'm like, anybody would be so lucky to intern with, you guys with Shichanguko. It is just absolutely amazing. Definitely things to be excited about. You guys have to keep the whole organization posted. We'll all be happy together. We'll all be excited together. But yeah, well, I guess if there's anything else that you guys want to share, there's plenty of people that couldn't make it today, and we'll just be watching the recording later on. So yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to share about learning development, anything for our live attendees, our watch later attendees, anything we might have missed.
I think one thing, and Alexis and I just both surfaced it and what we're excited about, but it's this idea of partnership and the idea that we can't do this work alone, nor should we. And so while there's so much to be excited about, both like next week and next month and for this upcoming year, I think that one of the main reasons for that is because of our partnerships, both as a team, first and foremost, and then within our Sicanguko ecosystem, but then also with like local and national, and just like Alexa said, international partners. I just want to give a huge shout out to one of our local partners. We have many, but without Sichangu Nation Employment and Training Program, our SNETP, our work would not be possible. And I would say that our department may not have formed when it did or in the way that it did. They are the Rosebud Sioux Tribe's employment and training program, and they are a huge both fiscal sponsor and just local sponsor and enthusiast of our work. And we're so grateful to work alongside them. We work alongside SGU, Tiwahikalu Kanipi, and so many others, amazing people and organizations that believe in the same things that we do. And so whether it's, here in Rosebud, South Central South Dakota, or even, places like Florida with NASA or Dubai with Design for Change, I think that there's such power when we work together. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to our partners.
Yeah, same as Jessica, just like to echo everything she just said. With our 7th Gen internship, our summer youth internship would not be possible without the partnership with SNETP. Lori Bordeaux is the director. Her and her staff are amazing. You can tell they're really passionate about what they do, and yeah, it's a pleasure working with them, especially with Lori. She gave me a lot of understandings and patience over the summer as being a first-time supervisor, especially a first-time supervisor to 18 people. And so just so grateful to SNETP, Lori and her staff. They do amazing work here on our reservation. I'd also like to just say a big thank you to Jessica and the rest of my coworkers and the team. Learning and development is very special. It's, I don't want to say one of a kind because I don't think there should just be one of us. I think there should be a whole bunch of us. But this department is really a special thing for our reservation and for our young people, and hopefully for the rest of the reservation once we start getting more employees to focus on other areas. But the areas that we really focus on is important at following our mission of Sicangu of looking towards the future and always looking at that 7 gen mentality and concept. And every day I think we live that and breathe that here in L&D. We're constantly looking forward to the next thing, to what we can do, how we can improve, how we can create more opportunities. And so I'm really just grateful to be a part of the team and to be part of this wonderful department.
All right, well, that's my last question. If anybody else in the audience has any last minute questions, feel free to drop them right now. Lexus and Jess, if you guys didn't already see in the chat, Dawn wants to connect. So yeah, reach out to Dawn or Dawn reach out to them. That sounds like it'd be an amazing collaboration, no matter what you guys get out of it. But
Alexa is typing as you speak.
she's already got the email drafted, Dawn. Be ready. But all right, yeah, well, those are all of my questions. Looks like we have emails coming in.
Thanks so much for having us. We didn't know what to expect, but yeah, I just really appreciate y'all taking the time, and this is wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us and listening to me talk. I love to talk, especially about the work that we're doing. So thank you.
Yes, of course. I was definitely excited about them. Thank you guys very much for joining, even if it's podcast style, that's okay. We all got to sit and chill together. But yeah, well, that's all I've got. So I'll let everybody get on with their days. This is nap time of the day for sure. After a nice podcast style thing like this, everybody go take your naps if you can. And we'll see y'all at the next one.
See ya.
See you.